Hello, everyone. Welcome to GA's Tea Time. We discuss all things General Hospital. If you haven't already, please hit the bell notification. The like and subscribe really helps the channel. And I want to send a special thank you for everybody that has already subscribed. So, guys, let's get our teacups, let's get our snacks, and let's get ready to discuss our favorite characters. General Hospital Daily Recap, Monday, February 23rd, 2026. So, guys, there was a bunch of people in this episode. We had Gio, Maxie, Nathan, Alexis, and many more. So, let's see what our favorite bunch of characters are up to. Michael, Rick, Justine, and Dante were at the PCDPD wrapping up that conversation that we saw on Thursday's episode. And Michael was like really upset because he was like, "What do you mean Wiley saw Chase with these keys?" Because he was thinking that Chase might have coerced Wiley into something. And Rick was like, "No, no, no. He didn't know that. He Chase didn't know that Wiley saw him. So Michael was still upset." And Rick was like saying to Justine and Dante, because at first they were kind of smirking. It was like, "Oh, Wiley's 8 years old. Maybe he didn't see what he saw." And Rick was like, yeah, who gave you guys the idea of these keys?" And uh, Justine and Dante had to get quiet because they know who gave them the idea. Chase gave them the idea. So they let Michael go. Dante was getting on my nerve because he was taking up for Chase. Now, here goes the thing. I mean, Justine was kind of like, "Look, Chase is all over this. I thought you got this under control," stuff like that. But Dante was like, "Look, Chase is my friend. We've been partners for years, this and that. He would never do nothing like tamper with evidence." Now, we know Chase didn't tamper with evidence, but he definitely touched some keys. But the way Dante was going in for Chase is how Dante should go in for his brother Michael. Like, he literally does not go in for Michael like that. He just treats Michael like he's some kind of stepchild. So anyway, Justine was saying to Dante, "Listen, we got to get this together because both of our heads is going to roll." She is 100% right. Justine knows that Michael didn't do this. And she's kind of like, "We need to get clear of this case because our careers are going to be on the line." So Dante need to hurry up and get on board with Justine. Guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Rick was talking to Michael, and he basically told Michael, "Listen," he was like, "Stay away from Chase. If Chase is gonna burn his career down, he'll do anything." So he was like, basically, stay clear of him. I don't think Michael gonna listen to Rick on this advice, but I think Rick is right. Chase is up to shenanigan stuff. Alexis is going over the adoption process again with Chase in Brooklyn. And she's kind of basically telling them, "Listen, because y'all hesitated before, you didn't complete the whole process, you have to start from the beginning." So they were a little like let down by that because they have to start from scratch. But Chase chimed in and said, "Listen, with my demotion, keep us from being able to adopt a child." And Alexis was like, "No, the whole process, if you look at the overall picture, they have a good home, they both have jobs, blah, blah, blah. It's that demotion shouldn't cause a problem with them adopting." So Chase and Brooklyn were really happy about this, and they were discussing, they can't wait till they have kids running around and things like that. Michael came in, and Michael came in hot, right? So Michael was calling Chase everything but his name. So he said to Chase, he was like, "Stop using PCPD to come after me," right? So he was just like, "They pulled me in, talking about this, took my keys, and it's like there's a key to Drew's house on my ring." So Brooklyn's like, "What does this got to do with us?" She was like, "Well, Wiley saw Chase with my keys, right?" So he took the keys and threw them at Chase. So Chase got upset and went and punched Michael. So they fighting each other and stuff like that. Brooklyn's screaming, and then Dante comes in and breaks up the fight, right? So he's just like, now everybody could see that Michael screams out, "Now everybody can see that what you're against me." So Chase leaves. Brooklyn's running after him. Brooklyn screamed on Michael and was like, "Don't be coming after my husband like that." Brooklyn got to wake up. I'm wondering what she's going to do with this information because I can't see Chase living at this house after this. This is crazy. And her marriage is going to be definitely strained because this guy, I think Chase really does still have feelings for Willow because it does not make sense that he would do all of this for her. It's insane. I don't understand that. So Brooklyn's gonna have some reality check to do soon. But Michael and Dante continue the conversation, and Michael asked Dante straight up, "Do you believe that I'm guilty?" And Dante was like, "No." He doesn't believe anymore that he's guilty. So he knows something's going on with Chase. And finally, after all of this, Dante finally had to give in and say, no, he doesn't believe that his brother's guilty. But he did say to Michael, you know what? Chase messing with them keys probably helped you out, because they can never convict him now or try to bring him to trial because everything has been tainted, right? Chase has been in the mix since day one. So all this helping Willow really helped her out of her little scheming plan. Gio asked his grandfather, Sonny, to meet him at the Brown Dog Bar so they can have a drink. And Sonny was happy to do it. You know, he was telling Gio it was good to catch up and stuff like that. But he noticed that Gio was kind of looking down. So he was asking him how he's doing. And he was telling him, Sonny, about Emma and how he's concerned about her coming back. And Sonny was like, you know, she's gonna come back. But Gio kind of threw it out to him and was like, what if I move to, I think California is where they're at? And Sonny was kind of like, he'll miss him, but he would understand. Um, as I was watching this scene, the only thing that I thought was kind of messed up is that I was like, this should be Dante, you know? So I'm like, they need to really move that Dante and Geo storyline along, because as much as Sonny and him catching up is great, you know, he should be talking to his grandfather. This is a conversation he should be having with his father. He should be building that relationship. But the conversation shifted a little bit. Gio was asking Sonny about Fizz, the dog, and then Gio was just kind of like he would come by and, you know, catch up with Fizz. Then Gio got a text from Josh, and he told Sonny, and it was a weird comment that Sonny made, because he was just like, you know, Josh is looking for me. And that's what Gio said. And Sonny was like, yeah, I think I better go because it's not good for us to be seen together. Gio didn't ask anything about that. And that's kind of a weird statement to make. Like, so, you know, Sonny excused himself on the table. And as he was excusing himself from the table, Justine walked in. So Sonny kind of beelined it over to Justine. Josh was talking to Gio about Emma, and he was just like, you know, Emma's off with her family. And Josh was kind of like, when did she come back? She said, you know, I wanted to show her this book. I don't know what the purpose of Josh showing Emma that book for. I don't know what kind of information she thinks she's going to get out of Emma. But I'm glad Gio kind of was like, look, Josh, just leave Emma alone. She can't handle this stuff right now. And Josh is really pushing for some information, but I don't think Emma would be the right person to give her this information for this for that book and stuff like that. What would she really know? The best people to talk to is probably like the old timers like Felicia, Mac, people like that. They might be able to fill in for that Faison weirdo book that she found. But Gio did tell her to kind of like, you know, back off. Sonny noticed that Justine was a little upset. So he was like, you want to sit down and have a drink? She was kind of blowing him off at first, but then finally she agreed. As they sat there, Sonny was like, you know, if you want to talk to me, you can. But Justine seemed hesitant. So Sonny was like, you know, I would never betray your confidence. And finally, Justine just blurted out, you know, it's because of your son. But what Justine was saying was that she knows she had the right person. Willow did it and she blew it. And she was like, what's really messed up is that Michael's life would be forever changed because she messed up who the real person that should have went to jail. So everybody's looking at Michael like he's guilty. And she was telling Sonny, you know, you should be furious with me. And Sonny was like, it's not your fault. You know, you've tried to do what you're supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, Justine just got up. She looked at Sonny, got up, and then kind of ran out of the Brown Dog Bar, which was a little strange. Sonny got up too and ran after Justine, and as he's calling her name, she has this smile on her face. Now, see, I could take this as two ways. One, maybe she was smiling because, oh, you know, he likes me. Or two, I got him. So I think I might have figured out her angle. See, she says she came to Port Charles with like a perfect record. She's always won every case. Now she's in Port Charles and she's lost two cases. Her record is kind of messed up. So, if she can bring down Sonny, doesn't that make her record like whatever she did bad in the past, it would just wipe that clean. Everybody would be like, finally, Sonny Corinthos is behind bars. I think Sonny is being played by Justine. I think Justine's going to actually wind up falling for him, but I think she's going to play him for a while and see if she can actually put him in jail. That's my view. Tell me what you think. But after they caught up with each other, Sonny turned her around and then gave her a kiss. We knew that this was coming. So we'll see how this is going, but I still think that Justine is playing him for her record. Rick came in to give Alexis an update on what happened at the PCPD and how, with the keys with Michael and how Chase was involved. Alexis couldn't believe, she was like, why would Chase do that? But we all want to know why Chase would do that. As the conversation went on, Rick started talking about family, and he was like, after Alexis and them had kind of locked him up downstairs in her basement, he got an epiphany and kind of was just like he needed family around. He was like, he realized if he was missing, the only person that would miss him is Molly. So he was just like, Sonny and his kids are the only closest thing that he has to family besides his daughter. So he wants to get closer to them. He almost had me a little misty eyed because he was just like, if he's like, no one cares about him. So I think what Rick is trying to do is build a relationship. He went out with Liz. He's helping Sonny, and he has Molly. So he's trying to build this, a little family structure around him. I guess he realizes he's getting older and stuff like that. Now, I hope this is true and that Rick doesn't have some other motive. I hope he really does want family because I think it would be good for him. But we'll see where this goes. Wiley woke up, told his mother that he was having a nightmare and that he wanted to go home to his father's house. Willow was kind of like, it's okay. I understand it's a new environment and it's going to be soon, it'll be like home to you and you'll be over here so much that you won't realize, have any more nightmares. But she said, you know what, why don't I read to you until you get sleepy and go to sleep? So Wiley agreed, and, she was reading to Wiley and having a good time with that. She had a flashback to her putting those keys on Michael's ring, and she just knows this is going to work so that she can wind up having the kids full time. She don't know Chase done messed up her plan. I wonder if she's going to get mad at Chase for this because she may do something to Chase because he messed up her whole plan, but we'll see what happens with that. Lulu and Spinelli was talking, and Spinelli again was saying to Lulu what he said to Jason in Brooklyn, that he believes that Maxie is going to go back to Nathan. And Lulu was encouraging him and telling him, no, Maxie really loves him and stuff like that. And Spinelli kind of was like, yeah, I know she loves me, but Nathan and her love story is just so great. And Lulu kind of was like, Spinelli, you're her first love. Give yourself some credit. Now, side note, I was just like, what's weird about this conversation is that, or weird about everybody's conversation, everybody's just saying that Maxie is going to go back to Nathan. Is Maxie going to go back to Nathan? No one has asked Nathan if he wants to go back to Maxie. They just assuming that's what he wants to do. Somebody should ask. He may not want to go back. Time has passed. We don't know how he feels. I remember he didn't even go visit Maxie when she was in that coma. So I don't know why everything is focused on Maxie. They should wonder what Nathan wants too. But whatever. Lulu kept encouraging Spinelli, but she may have an agenda too with that because she wants to be with Nathan. But she was just telling Spinelli to have some hope. Maxie and Nathan were playing catch up, and Maxie was asking Nathan, like, what do you remember? And he said, he remembered Maxie talking to him, remember getting shot. And then he didn't remember anything like else. And he said the next thing he know, he was in present day and Nina was standing over him. So he's missing these 7 years. Maxie filled him in on what happened after he was gone and how she was devastated that he was missing, and I mean that he had passed away, and that she took it out on Lulu for a while and stuff like that, and that she was devastated. And then they started talking about James and stuff like that. And she was just kind of going in and tell him, she really loves him and things like that. But she really loves Spinelli, that she was like, she wasn't alone. Spinelli stepped up, helped her get through. They brought in Peter for 5 minutes. She said she thinks because that Nathan was gone, that's how she got with Peter, because she really missed Nathan. But then Spinelli came and really helped her get her through all of the times and tribulations and everything that Maxie had to go through while Nathan was gone. And at the end of the whole thing, they kind of just walked away from each other. Maxie got home, and she told Spinelli that she saw Nathan. And then Spinelli kind of was like, "It's okay, Maxie, you know, if you want to go back to Nathan and stuff like that." And then Maxie cut him off, and she's like, "Why do you think this?" You know. So Spinelli gave an explanation why he was thinking that, but Maxie was like, Spinelli, you know, she was just saying all these really nice, sweet things, and it made me a little misty-eyed. Everything makes me misty-eyed. But it was really sweet. And then Maxie was like, you know, Spinelli, you're my home and I'm not going anywhere. And then she gave him a kiss. And I think that's so sweet because I was hoping she was picking Spinelli. I was team Spinelli. You guys know this. But it was really nice. I really enjoyed this scene. So she made her choice. I think that Nathan and Lulu need to wait like 5 minutes and then they need to go speak to Maxie. I don't think she would have a problem with it. So many years have passed. So many things have happened. She probably would give the two her blessing. But they need to not sneak around because that's when it's going to get weird. But anyway, what did you guys think about this episode? Let me know down in the comment section. So guys, that was the end of the episode. If you haven't already, hit the bell notification. I upload a daily recap every day. So you don't want to miss those. They are fun. We talk about everything that happened on the episode. And I also put some extra stuff in there. So we do some quizzes and some polls and some who's leaving. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So you don't want to miss any of that. And if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe because it really helps the channel. And I want to thank you for joining us at GA's Tea Time. See you next time. Bye.